Hey, welcome to another episode of the FD Build. So today we're going to be upgrading the brake system. Lately, when I've been driving the car, the pedal's been feeling a little squishy, so I'm going to try to upgrade the lines, brake pads, and rotors. So let's get to it. The premise to this upgrade is a few factors. One, I started noticing after a few spirited runs out and about that my passenger rear wheel just kept getting dirtier than the others. And I've noticed that I think my caliper is seized here because the actual rotor is just being worn down super fast, and I see that my brake pad is just like at 20%, and it just sucks to clean this just over and over again. So that was one of the red flags. And then my brake fluid reservoir is pretty dark, so yeah, we're definitely gonna attend to that as well. The parts that we're going with are, let's take a look. So we got the stainless steel braided lines from Chase Base. I'm really excited to try this product out. They definitely don't skip out on the attention to detail. So we got brake lines, power stop pads, and power stop rotors. I believe they are drilled and slotted. So yeah, really excited to put these on. I currently already have drilled and slotted on the car already, so they were fine. And just putting new stuff back on just so the whole system's complete. Only a little bit of this pad left, and like the inner pad is still like brand new, so that leads me to believe that this guy is definitely seized. So I got a new caliper in. I'm gonna be swapping this out with the new one, and I'm gonna give my caliper a little makeover. So get the rear caliper off. We're going to remove the actual e-brake assembly here. So obviously go in your car, drop down the e-brake, and then there is a shim here that sits in line. So once you get this guy pulled out, then we'll push this up and then slide it over. And then the actual tab here comes right out. Get the caliper off the assembly. It's just the two 17 mils right here. Fairly easy. And then to get the actual assembly here off, they're gonna be 14 mils. These guys, this guy and this guy should come right out. And then from there, you should be able to get the rotor off, and then we'll slap some new guys on. And just to confirm that this was the inner pad, so definitely still a lot of meat left, but this was the outer pad, and it was just getting run down. So I'm glad I caught this and we're doing this now. Good news, we got everything on this side. Just about done. All that's left is to do Chase Base hard lines into the, or Chase Base stainless steel lines into the hard line. But I'll show you guys what I've been cooking up, and I thought this color combo went freaking hard. So I think it was either a Subaru or a Civic. Went with a teal, kind of like the Project Mu teal. And I absolutely love that color, so I ended up painting my calipers the same. I think with the white wheel, with the red car, the teal is just gonna be a really fantastic contrast and just make everything pop. So new calipers on. I just had to do the e-brake line while putting this on. New pads, like I said previously. Put the little anti-squeal lubricant. Gonna knock out the other three, or actually the other three sides. And then once I get to the front, I'll kind of do just like an M-depth. Remove the caliper, put new pads on, and I don't think the weather's gonna be good, so there's gonna be a time lapse, but I'm gonna try to get all the other calipers, cleaned up and painted as well. So I'm glad I'm doing this now, but when I found out on my driver's side rear is my ABS cord is gone. So I had to go on eBay to find the ABS connector, and it was really hard and it was really expensive. So go on the inside here, and I have to pull my bins up because the grommet and the connector are under these guys. So I really dreaded doing this for a long time, but I'm glad I'm doing it now since I'm doing the entirety of the brake system. But I might have to pull the center console to get the bins out, and then I'll be able to access the connector and the grommet, and then I can plumb the new guy, get her all connected. Another thing I noticed too, the ABS sensor, or not sensor, but like light, it would always come on when I would just drive like a couple feet down the road. So I'm hoping once I get the car running again that we will never see this guy on again. I don't know how this happens. I'm doing my brakes, but all of a sudden now I'm back to tearing out my interior of my car, which is just incredible just to get to a damn ABS sensor. On the other side, I got the other one out, so I got to get this one out, but it, you know, pretty much requires taking out the seat belt so we can fully get this out of the way, or pull this up and get it out. Again, unbelievable that all of this had to be done, but hey, I want this car at 100%. So we finally got the cubby bins out, and that ABS sensor is right there. There's the grommet, and then there is the connector for it. So I'll pop these out, get it plumbed. Fat time lapse, update on the FD. The interior I had to take out so I can replace the ABS sensor. I got the new rotors on, new pads, painted the calipers teal, and the ABS sensors in. And then I decided, since I had the interior out, I was just gonna go ahead and paint it. So the back half of the interior now is all gloss black. I'm not too sure if I like the gloss black or not, but kind of wish I went matte, but it might grow on me, who knows. Doing the fronts with the chase base brake lines. I don't know why they did not do this, because these are supposed to be like direct replacements. One of the flats on the OE brake line, I don't know if you guys can see that here, but it isn't pointed. And so, and you can even see it on the flat here where the line goes into. Yeah, it's just like, it's kind of rounded. Chase base lines, they came all starred with edges here. So now what I've been doing with the rest of the chase base lines is I'm taking a file and I'm filing down one of the edges here so it can fit inside the mounting point there. Because if you don't, it does not sit flush. So I don't know, maybe it was an R&D mistake, or I don't know. I just don't know why it's not just like, you know, OE. Yo, that color combo freaking slaps, dude. Red car, white wheels, teal calipers. I think that looks so freaking good. So next up now will be, everything's all buttoned up. So now I'm gonna bleed the system. And what I'm using for brake fluid is, I got hooked up from the guys at P&W Race. They hooked it up with the Motul 5.1. So I'm gonna be putting this in the car. You know, common knowledge that you start bleeding from the furthest caliper away, then you work your way up, passenger front, then driver side front. So it's gonna be pretty easy for me to just, I'm gonna pop on the air compressor, get my speed bleeder out, and then just work my way around, making sure that I got fluid in the reservoir and I got solid line of fluid coming out. But on FD's, clutch fluid is actually plumbed in with the reservoir. When I bleed the brakes, I don't know if you can see it on the camera, but you can actually see like a little pocket there, little chamber where the clutch fluid is. So I'm actually gonna bleed the clutch fluid when I come to the driver side. All right, update. So I'm kind of getting like tore up by this whole brake installation thing, and then having to do the interior. So with the chase base lines, I'm not knocking them by all means. I just don't think they're products for me. One thing is, like I stated before, you had to kind of shave points on the fastener that goes into the hard line on the car. So I end up buying Good Ridge steel brake lines, and it just seems like their product is a little more well thought out and just like a kind of better quality, in my opinion, that they already went ahead and got this part flat. And just like, I don't know, the whole like makeup of the line, and not to mention their hardware that goes into their banjo hardware seems better, in my opinion, than the I think they were using like a stainless steel fastener. I don't know if it was the wrong thread pitch or what, but I just could not get this sucker to stop leaking when I installed everything. So it stripped out. I just can't imagine why all these lines are leaking, and I'm not trying to reef on the front calipers because I don't know if I can ever find those. So I just said, screw it, I'm going to switch to the Good Ridge brake lines and see if that like helps me out with this installation, because I had everything almost wrapped up and I just cannot get the damn lines to stop leaking. So let's see if this works. So on the right is the Goodrich line, on the left is the Chase base. Yeah, you can see the Goodrich has already a bend to it, and it kind of just conforms to the routing from the caliper to the hard line. And it seems like the length is just a little bit longer on the Chase base, which isn't, you know, terrible or anything, but I just think that, I don't know, like they missed the attention to detail on, you know, just the little things.